weeks, because there's nothing greedier than a timeshare salesman.
Well, before we get to our report on Worldmark, or Travel and Leisure Co., and before we get to what the highly respected Dave Ramsey has to say about that company,
we have been cheated out of the third year of our contract because of the pandemic, and Wyndham refused to recognize that the pandemic called for concessions. We were VIP members for 20 years. We now have a very negative impression of Wyndham and will never encourage anyone to deal with them in any way, even for a one-night hotel stay. Wyndham, by the way, is spending $100 million purchasing Travel and Leisure and are rebranding from Wyndham to Travel and Leisure. Now, Wyndham is a nationally known brand, internationally known brand, but they're going to do completely away with it. You know why? And they're spending $100 million to do away with this nationally known brand. Why? Because it has so much negative connotation attached to it now. Because they've screwed so many people.
well, it looks like Freddie spilled some of the beans early. There's more useful things for you to know about your timeshare, but first, a quick note. We would like to celebrate yet another anniversary of our first successful effort to get an attorney to make good on the promises he made to his clients. You might remember that he was the first ever in a line of attorneys who tried to duck one of our cameras. Tonight, we go from our first attorney to our first report on a timeshare. In future reports, we will show you the connection between our lawyer story and tonight's timeshare story. A timeshare story which starts with a bit of irony. Ironically, the actual timeshare owner, Mrs. Miller, is happy with her timeshare. No, that's not the earwax in your ears talking. She really is happy with her timeshare. In our opinion, she is certainly the wrong person for the timeshare company to continuously ignore, and thus potentially sending her to a timeshare exit specialist. Mrs. Miller still does not know that Mr. Miller went to the press. Mr. Miller welcomes Worldmark to tell Mrs. Miller about the press because at least someone from Worldmark will be in touch with her. It should be pointed out that Worldmark has never disputed the facts presented to them by Mr. Miller. By the way, this dispute started way back in 2024. But the Miller story is boring. You heard me, boring. Compared to what is on the Dave Ramsey timeshare segment, now on YouTube, under the title, Timeshare Companies Are the Last Legal Fraud in America. Google it under that title and start the video at 1 hour 21 minutes from the beginning. The facts will curl your hair. And in our opinion, the fact pattern matches the Millers' experiences in an unfortunate number of ways. For those who feel duped by your timeshare, you are not alone. Mr. Miller is a respected sales trainer, so he knew the face of a highly commissioned or highly paid Worldmark salesperson when he saw it. He knew when Worldmark was presenting him with sales theater. He knew when the sales rep tried the first of many trial closes, overcoming objections to the sale, and other commonly taught sales practices. In this reporter's opinion, the Worldmark sales presentations to the Millers over the years are like too many marriages. They are created in heaven and lived in Pittsburgh. Last week, David V Goliath contacted Worldmark and asked 2 questions. Question number 1, is there a date certain by which Mrs. Miller will be contacted in order to make good on Worldmark's promises to help her? Question number 2, in the history of Worldmark, has there ever been an annual maintenance fee increase that was less than the annual rate of inflation? If Worldmark ever responds to us or contacts Mrs. Miller, we will let you know. As for Dave Ramsey, Dave Ramsey brought up some great information across the board. Not a single wasted minute in the entire video. In our opinion, here are only some of the moments that every Worldmark owner and every timeshare prospect needs to see.
And you can't get out of them. They're almost impossible to get out of. You had to get their attention by punching them in the nose, in other words.
Pretty much.
So you call them up and go, I've got cancer, my wife's got cancer, and they said, toughies.
Again, the whole Dave Ramsey video is a must-see for all timeshare owners and timeshare prospects. This is Mr. H, in for David V Goliath, AV Network News, reporting.